Have you ever seen someone who could capture every camera's attention without saying a word? Someone whose presence alone made people stop and stare? That person was Lee Remick. Lee Remick was one of Hollywood's most famous stars in the 1950s, 60s, and 70s. She was not just known for her acting skills. She was also admired for her beauty and style. But today, we're looking at something different, her photographs. Yes, the pictures of Lee Remick show more than just her acting career. They show how confident and bold she was. Lee Remick did not just leave an impression with her roles in movies. She left people talking with the way she carried herself. In many of her pictures, she did not hide anything. She had a way of showing her personality, her strength, and yes, her body without trying too hard. But let us be clear, this is not just about looks. These pictures tell a story. They show someone who knew who she was and was not afraid to be herself. That confidence is rare, and that is what makes her photographs so special. Lee started acting in the 1950s. One of her first big roles was in the movie called A Face in the Crowd, where she played a young singer. Even in her early years, photographers noticed her. She had this magnetic energy that made every photo stand out. People did not just see a pretty face, they saw someone who could express a million emotions with just her eyes. As she became more famous, her pictures became more revealing, not just physically, but emotionally. She was not afraid to show vulnerability. Some of her photos show a quiet side, some a playful side, and some a daring side. And that is what makes her images unforgettable. Fashion photography in the 1960s and 70s was very different from today. It was more about personality than just clothing. And Lee Remick understood this perfectly. She posed in ways that were bold, confident, and sometimes surprising. These were not just pictures, they were statements. She was not hiding behind costumes or makeup, she was showing the real her. Many of these pictures captured her natural body, her expressions, and her energy. She did not need special effects or filters. What you see is what you get. And this honesty is what makes people keep looking at these photographs even decades later. Magazines often featured Lee in stories about movies, fashion, and life. But some photos were simply about her presence. One famous image shows her in a simple dress, standing by a window, sunlight hitting her face perfectly. There is no glamour, no fancy background, just Lee. And somehow, that simplicity makes the picture powerful. It is easy to think that showing this much confidence in photos today is normal. But in her time, it was unusual. Most stars were careful about what they showed. But Lee Remick seemed to have a sense of freedom. She was not scared of the camera or the world. And that is why her pictures continue to captivate people. What is even more fascinating is seeing her behind the camera. On movie sets, she was always professional, but she also enjoyed life. Some behind-the-scenes pictures show her laughing, joking with co-stars, or simply relaxing. These candid shots tell us a lot about her personality. She was confident, lively, and real. When you look at these pictures, you realize she did not need to hide anything. She embraced herself fully. And that is what made her so special, not just in Hollywood, but to everyone who saw her photographs. Lee Remick's beauty was not just in her face, but in her presence. Each photograph shows a different side of her. Some show a soft, gentle side, while others show a bold, daring side. She did not try to please anyone. She did not need to. Her confidence was her charm. Her photographs are a lesson for anyone who wants to understand self-expression. They show that you do not have to hide your true self to be admired. You can be honest, real, and bold, and still captivate the world. Even today, decades after her prime, Lee Remick's pictures are studied and admired. Actors, photographers, and fans look at her images to understand what made her so unforgettable. It is not just her face or her figure. It is her presence, her energy, and her confidence. Every picture tells a story. Every pose shows strength. And every glance is proof that Lee Remick left nothing hidden. She shared herself fully with the world, and that is what made her timeless. So when you look at the pictures of Lee Remick, remember this: they're more than just photographs. They are proof of a woman who knew her worth, embraced herself completely, and left the world fascinated. She did not just act in movies, she acted with her life, and every picture captures that truth. Lee Remick may have left Hollywood decades ago, but her presence continues to inspire. And that is the magic behind every photograph she ever took. If you enjoy looking at stories through pictures, Lee Remick's legacy is one you cannot miss.